Everything just fell perfectly into place as multiple new reports have dropped surrounding one player and the Los Angeles Lakers, revealing some wild details surrounding Rob Pelinka and his plans going forward. We'll break down this new report as well as discuss some other interesting things as everything just fell perfectly into place for this team. But before we get into it all, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the daily videos. Folks, a lot to go over today, and obviously the Lakers are in a very intriguing spot. Most of their team now, as of this point, is pretty set in stone. They acquired a center. They can still use a point of attack defender, specifically a wing, even after the acquisition of Marcus Smart. But we're going to be diving into a player who isn't a point of attack defender, but is a veteran, and that is, of course, Kevin Love. And let's dive right into it here. And there's a few different things here. We'll dive into his stats after, but a recent report has dropped from Jake Fisher, revealing some interesting information. So you can see this here. Kevin Love reportedly wants to play in a glamour market per Jake Fisher. So with Kevin Love, to my understanding, he really only wants to be in the big markets. I do think it would mostly be something along the lines of the Lakers or, the New York Knicks. I guess could technically be the Clippers as well. I don't know if I see a fit there. But this report dropped essentially linking Kevin Love to the Lakers and the New York Knicks. Now, you're probably thinking about it on the surface. You look at the team and who they have, and you're thinking, okay, do they really need a Kevin Love on their team? We'll dive into the fit and things like that. But this Lakers team, we know teams under LeBron James and things like that, they like having veteran guys, especially for years when they're pushing for a championship, which is every year that you have LeBron James. Jake Fisher linking the Lakers to Kevin Love. Now, you see this tweet here. Ironically, I consider signing Kevin Love as our 15th man a needle-moving championship move. LeBron desperately needs a homie on his team, and I feel like he's going to be more committed and motivated with Love next to him. And this is, of course, the big thing with the Lakers. If he was to, we know the relationship between Kevin Love and LeBron James. They won together in Cleveland. They played together for, a long time in Cleveland, and they're good friends by all accounts. Obviously, getting Kevin Love on the Lakers right now, it doesn't personnel-wise, like on the court talent, push them over the top or anything like that. But I think it provides them a very good, he's not going to play very much, but provides him a very good, friend to have on the team, essentially. And I think for what is going to be one of the last years for LeBron James, I think having a guy like Kevin Love in the team, especially as the 15th man, you can make some trades happen, open up some salary and things like that. It would, I think it would be a very good fit. Like, is it a needle-changing championship move like this tweet suggests? I don't think so. I don't think it has that big of an impact. But if bringing in Kevin Love makes LeBron James, I think he's going to work as hard as he will anyways. But, if it gives him some value and he thinks that that's worth it, then I would go ahead and make the move. Again, not a needle moving championship move in my opinion, but it is obviously, like, you can see why it would make some sense. And again, the current kind of situation right now, he's in Utah as of this point. He's in the final year of a 2-year, $8 million contract. He's going to make $4.15 million next season. And we know when he got traded to Utah, Kevin Love tweeted, "Never thought I'd be a math problem. Welcome to the NBA." Obviously referring to himself as a salary filler and, that big trade. But you would have to open up some salary. And that's a big thing, bearing a buyout and things like that. But he wouldn't have a huge role in, again, they probably, if you're the Lakers, would want him via buyout rather than trade. But you probably, if you're the Lakers, or if you're Kevin Love, you probably want to join a team like the Los Angeles Lakers. They just got Marcus Smart. They have LeBron James. They have Luka Doncic. And for Kevin Love and LeBron, they both have mutual interest of winning a championship this year. And obviously, LeBron James will help on the court a lot more. But you can't underestimate at the same time the veteran leadership that Kevin Love does bring to this team, which is a lot, and obviously a pretty big factor when it comes to, players the Lakers want to get with that 15 spot. And there's been a lot of rumblings lately. Again, Jake Fisher, he links Kevin Love to the Los Angeles Lakers. Dan Wokey came out in Spectrum and says he thinks the roster Lakers have right now is probably set in stone. More moves could come. But he also says he thinks that the Lakers are missing a vet that can help Bron speak up. Says he could see Kevin Love to the Lakers if they make space trading expiring deals. So this is the big report as well. It's not only Jake Fisher, it is Dan Wokey. And this is a very very, very big report here for this, for the Kevin Love people who want Kevin Love. And obviously, you would have to assume it would be through a buyout. And in order to do that, the Lakers would of course, have to make, a trade in order to make space for expiring contracts. But it makes sense because most of the time LeBron is competing for a championship. You saw Markieff Morris last year to a degree kind of play this role. LeBron likes to have a veteran who can be alongside him. And is Kevin Love that guy? He would be. He's one of LeBron's better friends in the NBA. Clearly, there's mutual interest, according to Jake Fisher. LeBron wants to, have Kevin Love, we would assume. And then Kevin Love, one of the glamour markets. Would you prefer the Knicks or the Lakers? I'd argue you have a better chance to win a championship with the Lakers. You have Luka Doncic, you have LeBron James, and of course, you have everybody else on that team. I like it. Now, as a fit perspective, let's look at his stats last year. And I've been talking about it like he's not going to give any value on the court. I think he still, could. The Lakers aren't super deep in the center position, the power forward position anyway. I'll just bring it up one more time for you guys. Like Rui is your, pseudo power forward, LeBron really. But you have Ayton, you have Jackson Hayes, and you have, Maxi Kleber. And I guess Jake LaRavia to a degree. He plays, three, small ball four a little bit. At the end of the day, like that's not a great depth. There's not a lot of depth there in the big man position. But for for Kevin Love here, you can see 5 points a game last year with Miami. The year before, he averaged 8.8. He can stretch the floor a little bit, 36% from three. I mean, he was a six man of the year finalist like 4 years ago with Cleveland. We think back to his days there. He was very good for a very long time. Now he's kind of fallen into a role player role, which obviously makes more sense as he's gotten older, 36 years old. But if there is a year to bring him back to Miami, take him out of Miami, bring him back to, being teammates with LeBron, in this case in LA, this would be the time to do so. And again, the biggest report here is the one from Dan Wokey, basically clarifying that the Lakers are indeed involved and could see a pretty big move incoming for this Los Angeles Lakers team. Some other, rumors floating around that, hearing they might be, open to, if bought out in LA. We gladly take you at that last roster spot. The Lakers are built. The only thing left is veteran leadership and guidance. You'd be the final piece of the puzzle. Again, I don't think this guy has any intel, but the point of this is, pairing it with that Wokey trade. I don't know if he'd be the last piece of the puzzle. Like, I'm not going to go as far as to say that. I don't think he's that much of a needle mover, but I think for LeBron James, a lot of it is with this team culture, mental, all these different things. I think LeBron could greatly help from having a guy like Kevin Love there. But again, a couple things to go over. Like I mentioned earlier, $8 million contract, $4.15 million. There's still some work to do, and you can see in the second paragraph there, it gave some more insight as to why things haven't happened yet regarding a buyout. The buyout doesn't typically really get figured out until that next situation is fully determined. I don't think you're going to sign the paperwork to give up guaranteed millions of dollars until you have your next situation lined up, which would be the Lakers, and that's why this report is coming out. But folks, let me know down below. A, do you want to see the Lakers acquire Kevin Love? Do you think that it's a perfect fit, or do you think that they should hold off and obviously wait and see if they can get somebody else? And also, I want to transition here into another, topic and kind of just discuss with you guys, do you think they should trade either one of Austin Reaves or Rui Hachimura? And it's a bit of a, quick turn here. Obviously, we're talking about Kevin Love in this video. He's not a needle mover necessarily on the court, but there's been a lot of rumblings about a Austin Reaves trade, about a Rui Hachimura trade. And is that something you guys are married to? Like, do you want to not trade Rui and Austin Reaves? Because there's been a lot of discourse lately about specifically, don't trade Austin Reaves. Keep him. He's going to have another great year. In my case, I've been venturing to get him on the bench and have Marcus Smart in his spot and then let Austin Reaves run the bench. Is that something you guys think should do as well? And then finally, do you think they should trade Rui Hachimura? I am perfectly open to trading Rui Hachimura in the right deal for a wing like Andrew Wiggins, the Herb Jones types, the ones who are elite defensively, just because it carries this, it would carry this team's defense a lot more, and that's something they ultimately do need. But let me know down below what your thoughts are. A lot of things are happening between the Lakers, and a lot of reports are dropping, and we'll keep you up to date every step of the way. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. See you guys later.